Hey everyone, so today we'll talk about SOAP, the Supplemental Offer and Acceptance Program by which unmatched residency positions are filled by the unmatched residency applicants during the match week. We'll tell you how to improve your application for SOAP and we'll give you tips which can help you maximize your chances to match in SOAP. So whether you are an IMG who needs visa or you don't need visa, or if you're a Caribbean applicant, watch on. Welcome to our channel where we provide you detailed guidance on your USMLE journey. So if this is your first time here and you want to get tips and information about all aspects of USMLE, subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram. So let's talk about SOAP. SOAP occurs during the match week where unfilled positions are offered by programs to the unmatched or partially matched applicants. So how do you maximize your chances to match in SOAP? We'll answer some of your questions and give you tips from the experience of Sarthi students who have matched and can help you navigate the SOAP. Now, this season takes special significance due to the virtual interviews, and many of you have asked us, do IMG stand a better chance in SOAP this season? And the reason this question is coming up is because there is a perception that IMGs and AMG interviews are concentrated in limited number of applicants, high scores, recent year of graduations, and so on. So in general, each year there are IMGs with 20 plus interviews. This year is no different. However, the difference is the cancellation. Usually as you interview on site, there are travel issues, cost issues, weather issues that kick in, and cancellation are rampant in general. So in this season, the cancellations were less. Did the programs interview more applicants? Yes, they are definitely interviewing more applicants given the virtual interviews this season. Now, they are absolutely likely to have a longer rank order list this year as well. So it's hard to say how that will all translate into the unfilled position in SOAP in the IMG favored specialty. Regardless, since the things are in flux, you should be prepared just in case you end up going into SOAP. So now, while matching in SOAP for an IMG is different, each year we have several applicants from USMLE Sarthi who end up matching in SOAP, both visa seeking and those who don't need visa, in categorical as well as in the prelim positions. All right, so the first question, who's eligible for SOAP? Now, Friday before the match week, NRMP will send out an email notification to notify applicants of their SOAP eligibility status. This email has no bearing on your match outcomes. This is just an information email to the applicants about their eligibility to participate in SOAP. It has no relation to the match status. All applicant gets this email, which means applicants are eligible to participate in SOAP and access the unfilled positions on Monday if they are partially matched or completely unmatched. So it's clear, of course, that you have to register in the NRMP system to be eligible for SOAP. Each year, students will freak out on Friday when they get this email. Again, this does not mean that you did not match. It is just an eligibility email that will come. So for the eligibility criteria, you have to be registered with NRMP for the main residency match. You should be eligible to graduate and join the GME on 1st of July of that year. You should be partially matched or fully unmatched on the match Monday. So what does this mean, partially unmatched? So if you matched in a prelim position, don't match in an advanced position or vice versa, or you are not matched at all in any categorical position, means you are partially or fully unmatched. So the next question, when does SOAP begin and end? So the Monday of the match week, which is in 2021, is March 15, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. SOAP applicants can start preparing their application in the ERAS system and can apply. SOAP will be held this year in 4 rounds. Generally, there are 3 rounds, and it'll end at 2 p.m. on Thursday. Each of these rounds, you can apply to the programs. The programs can interview you. You will have close to 2 hours to accept the offer. There are a total of 45 programs that you can apply to in SOAP. The detailed NRMP calendar for SOAP is on the website, and we'll have link to that as well in the description below. In general, the first round of SOAP, you will see many AMGs get the offer and not IMGs. It is not typical, so do not give up. Try in all rounds. All right, so now some more tips and answering some of more questions on SOAP. First is around letter of recommendations. You can upload new LORs to the fields you are going to apply for SOAP. Now this is important. Any new rotations done after you submit your ERAS application in the main season will help. So get those LORs now. Also know what programs can you apply to in SOAP. You have a total of 44 programs that you can apply to. Now, if you're partially matched to advanced, you can obviously apply to the prelim program or the transitional year program. If you're partially matched to the preliminary program, you can only apply to the advanced program. So it's important for you to know these things. Of course, if you're fully unmatched, you can apply to all type of programs. So many students have this confusion. They don't understand which programs they can apply to, which they cannot apply to. But the total is still only 45. Prepare your personal statements in advance if you apply to a different specialty that you've not applied to in the main match. So, for example, many students will end up applying to preliminary general surgery, preliminary internal medicine. So, if you're applying to these specialties which you've not applied to, as I said, in the main match, be ready with the first statement. Specialty specific PS will always help. Now, the next tip here is if you have applied to a program in the main match and you interviewed at the program, then definitely apply to that program again if it opens up in SOAP. This is absolutely critical. Many students who match in SOAP end up matching at programs where they did interview in the season. So remember that. Number 5, you can only apply through ERAS and you should not initiate contact with programs during SOAP. This is absolutely important to know that only programs can initiate the contact to you within SOAP. And if you initiate a contact unnecessarily, you will be flagged, can be reported, can be debarred. So it's very risky. Don't do that. It is obviously essential for you to register to NRMP even if you have no interviews, if you want to apply in SOAP. So NRMP registration is absolutely required. As an IMG, you have higher chances of matching in a small community hospital than a big university program. Don't be tempted by big names. You have the spots 45, use them wisely. Focus on the community programs if they open up. Now, like I said, keep personal statement ready for each specialty you plan to target during SOAP. If you have done any rotation or if you have completed home country residency in other subspecialties, then you do have a chance of matching in those subspecialties. Keep those personal statement ready also. So let me give you one example. Let's say you've done a home country residency in pediatrics, but in the main match, you've applied to IM. Well, if you're interested in pediatrics, you should have your pediatrics personal statement ready. And if the pediatric programs open up in the SOAP, you should apply to them. You may get an interview. So that's one thing. The other thing, if you apply to prelim position and get the interview, you should have your PGY2 plan ready. You cannot go into a prelim interview and tell them that you are interested in categorical IM or categorical FM, for example. So you really need to tell them which specialty you want later on. Next, you will need to research programs that are in SOAP. So you may ask your friends who are well versed with the match process to be on standby should you need their help. This is important. The more you research, the higher your chances of match are. But remember, you cannot share the SOAP list. So if these lists are flying around on an email, it'll create issues for you. Next tip, be ready with some typical interview questions. Why this specialty? Why this program? Why do you think you didn't match in the main match? And so on. So we do have a list of questions that I can point to with some responses on, and guidance on these. It will help you in SOAP. So do look at that in the description below. Now, of course, SOAP happens during the US time. So if you are outside US, you're working, etc., adjust your duties and be available during the SOAP period. Of course, you will need to be available. The other point is make sure you have good internet access and a phone connection. Keep your Skype account ready, have Zoom account, all those kind of things. Of course, if you've done virtual interviews, you know how all this works. The other important tip here is set up your voicemail with a US number. It is absolutely required. You may get interview invites on phone and they will not call a non-US number. So important for you to remember that. Next tip, try to have someone with you who can guide you through this entire process to navigate through the SOAP process. Now, of course, you're likely to have stronger chance if you see a program which is local to where you live. So apply to that program and be ready to highlight ties to the city and why you want this program. Next, of course, you may need to research the programs that are in SOAP. It is absolutely essential. So if you have friends who are well versed with this match process, They can probably help you. You may need their help. This is important. However, also remember that you cannot officially share the soap list with anyone. You could get into trouble. So be mindful that you cannot share the soap list to avoid getting into all this trouble. Last question: what are the programs that are unfilled after soap? What about these programs? Can I apply to them? Now, Thursday of the match week at 3 p.m. Eastern, the list of unfilled programs will be updated in the NRMP system. And it'll show you all the unfilled programs, including the programs that elected not to participate in SOAP. So, all unmatched and partially matched applicants will have access to the list, and you can contact these programs and initiate any communication after 3 p.m. on Thursday directly with these programs and see if they are interested in interviewing you. So hopefully this was useful and gave you some good insight into the SOAP process. Do share this video with others who may find it useful. And if you have any questions on SOAP, put them in the comment section below and we'll get to them. Good luck with your match.